Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, so tonight we are playing Ashling the Limitless. This is the pre-con. I have not made any changes at all, so I just wanted to see how it feels out of the box. I've heard it's pretty good, but I haven't looked through it that much myself. Opening hand looks all right. Got some mana. It seems good enough. This is bracket 2, so we don't need an insane start. At least I hope we don't. K&T can always help us out a little bit if we need extra cards. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I've been working a lot. I got a new girlfriend. I'm in a band. I got a lot of music stuff going on. I've been busy. I've been keeping really, really busy. So, not so much Magic time of late, other than the one stream earlier than this week. But I figured I would fire the stream up tonight. I was actually planning to do limited. I thought the pre-release stuff was going to be available for the new Lorwyn, but apparently it's not. So, saw that this was available, so I'm like, all right, I guess we'll play the new Ashling. I've been thinking about it a little bit anyway. Yeah, turn 1 Soul Ring is not my favorite into a Mask of Memory. That's a lot of value, a lot of speed. It's going to be tough to deal with. Hopefully someone's got a little removal. How's the music volume, by the way? It's the first time running the stream with music. Alright, looks like our turn 1. Just go for the tap land. When you say the other Ashling, do you mean Ashling Rekindled? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, like, I don't know, I looked at this one, it just, like, it doesn't excite me. I don't really know what you do with it. I mean, probably the most obvious thing is, like, just some sort of, like, combo-based spell-slingery sort of situation. God, that's so much speed. I don't know how we're gonna deal with that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what you do with it other than just, like, trying to combo or storm off, so it doesn't really, like, push me into something I get super excited about. Even because there's been a couple other Ashlings at this point, even those ones I find just don't excite me in the way that the original one does. The original Ashling is my OG love, so it's still, even to this day, it's still a weird, unique commander that just makes me happy. I suppose we could move this down a little. And sit up. Yeah, but yeah, and plus the playstyle of, for people that haven't seen the old Ashling, if you've never played against it, like, they always get confused, and I tend to just, like, stumble into wins that way, and that they're like, they don't really know how to play against it. Once you've seen it a couple times, it becomes a little bit easier. You just assume that they have an instant speed board wipe all the time, but yeah, for the uninitiated, OG Ashling does present some nightmares, and I've got my paper list tuned up pretty well. Like, it's thrown some turn 6 wins, like, more than you would expect that it would. Usually they're on the hands of Repercussion, and that's a big part of it, but yeah, I got that OG list working much better than I ever thought I would. Yeah, not thrilled about this. Who has removal? I would love to see Mazavith. This thing have haste? Of course it has haste. Please, Mazavith, that. What a broken card. I mean, I guess a lot of this happens on the hands of Soul Ring, but even still. So we're just gonna let all that value happen? Cool. I mean, this game's probably already over. What's this? Whenever one or more creatures you control with power 7 or greater deal damage, untap all creatures you control with this. Yeah, more extra combats? Awesome. Yeah, the Final Fantasy commanders, a lot of them. I mean, there's a lot of them. Whenever they print a lot of commanders, there's always going to be, like, probably 5 of them that are just absolutely insane. And, yeah. Final Fantasy's no exception. There's definitely some really strong, dumb commanders in there. Opponent's like, why would you Mazavith that? I'm like, oh my god, because value. So much value. Titus got an infinite out of the box? Awesome. Awesome, yep. I think what we start doing is looking for another game, because I think this game's over. We'll join this one. We can play 2 at the same time. You guys ready for 2 games at the same time? Here we go. Hey, we get to go first in this one. 1 land, 2 land. I'm not thrilled about that one. Paper Welder, 3 lands. That looks a lot better. Omnath is disgusting. Opponent dropped a Toxic Deluge. Okay, so the game's not just over here. Well, I guess we're playing 2 now. Okay, so we can get our commander. Being that this is actually gonna... yeah, we'll keep that there. I may actually just scoop the other game now that, like... Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna scoop this game, because while I can play 2 at the same time, it's probably really confusing for you guys. I have done it a lot in the past, but... this game should be a little bit more measured now. We should give this thing a read. So it's Ashling the Limitless, 3 mana for a 2/3. Elemental permanent spells you cast from your hand gain evoke 4 as you cast them. Whenever you sacrifice a non-token elemental, create a token that's a copy of it. The token gains haste until end of turn. At the beginning of your next end step, sacrifice it unless you pay Wooburg. Really interesting. So I think this is going to be the big dumb elemental deck, because you can evoke some of these really big dumb elementals, which I'm very excited about. I love big dumb elementals. And it's back. Yep. All right, take care, man. Thanks for stopping in. Into a Pure Steel Paladin, of course. Ooh, we could evoke Bane of Progress. Yeah, Bane of Progress would slow the pain a lot. The saddest part about that might be that, like, we can only do it once. I guess we have Horde of Notions, but that's still a ways away. We have not ramped at all. Opponent's going to search for land. We have a Maelstrom Wanderer on top of our deck, and that seems absolutely disgusting to evoke. On top of all this, I feel like it really shouldn't be making treasures. It just seems... it already does too much. Yeah, let's evoke this Maelstrom Wanderer. Hope we hit some cool stuff. And we can get a scry in there. Crib Swap is a piece of removal. Yeah, that's actually pretty legit. Keep that on top. There's one I haven't seen in a long time. Yeah. Crib Swap the Cloud. What's the next one? Omnath, yeah. I'll cast an Omnath for free. That sounds like a good time. Deals damage. It deals damage to any target equal to the number of elementals you control. That is currently 2. Pure Steel Paladin seems like a great target. Maelstrom Wanderer gets sacrificed. Wow, we get a token of it? God. Yeah, this commander is kind of ridiculous. We just went from nothing to doing a lot all in one turn. Maelstrom Wanderer is part of it, which is a crazy card by itself. But someone in chat was telling me, in Discord, that was telling me that, like, this deck is insane out of the box, and I tend to believe them. This is kind of wild. Sadly, we don't have that Wooburg right there, but... So opponent takes a shot down to 28. We got rid of a lot of threats. We got rid of Pure Steel Paladin, their commander. And we've run up the tax pretty good on their commander. It's going to be 9 now. Sigarda's Aid. Yep, of course. What's this one do again? Enters, reveal the top 5 cards of your library, put a land from among them onto the battlefield, rest in the graveyard. When this creature dies, you may exile it. If you do, put another target card from your graveyard on top of your library. Oh my god, with Maelstrom? That seems ridiculous. What is this? Ooh, a Colossus Hammer. Gross. Might be on the Bane of Progress play. The other thing, too, we don't want this to flip over. 2 Maze of Its at the table is too much. Makes it, like, impossible to get damage through. Yep, that's a big changeling. And a Dazzling Dagger to boot, because of course. Dazzling Dagger's bad because we don't want them to have that mana to recast their commander, and Dazzling Dagger will get them to that mana pretty easily. Plant tokens. Yep, free equip. Mask of Memory. I'd be so happy if opponent wanted to maze this. So happy. Yeah, of course it's coming our way. They're gonna maze it. Thank God. Thank God. That is too much value. Too much value. So, yep, thankfully mazed. Depending on what else comes down, I'm thinking about the Bane of Progress. I would love if we could like actually hard cast it, but right now we're kind of forced into the Evoke. What does this one do? Land enters, put a +1 counter on an elemental you control if you have 8 or more lands, draw a card. Yep, we just wait patiently for Bane of Progress. Ooh, it's K&T. K&T gets us to quicker lands. In fact, it gets us to, we might be able to hardcast the Bane of Progress, which I like. Although 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they have a land, they can flip this, and I'm not thrilled about that. They put Fault Grinder in here because I think we're gonna need to pop some lands this game. Yep, K&T end step trigger. Opponent's going to terrain generator. There's one you don't see as much. Who's the commander? Junji the Midnight Sky, huh? When it dies, choose one. Each opponent discards 2 cards, lose 2 life. Put a non-dragon card from your graveyard on the battlefield. Okay. We need the land very badly. Pump our commander. I think keeping our commander alive and bigger is a thing that makes sense. Four, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this is gonna flip, so we can't stop that. That's unfortunate. That means it's gonna take just like a lot of power on board to actually kill anyone. Oh, it didn't flip. 4, 5, 6, 7. Did it all happen afterwards? I think it happened afterwards. Nice. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we're definitely on Bane of Progress. It'd be nice if we can catch something from the mono black player in all of this also. But there's enough on board that Bane of Progress by itself makes sense. Ooh, Fleshbag Marauder, huh? That one seems pretty good. I don't know that I want to give this up. Recasting our commander seems... Yeah, I think it's going to be our commander. Wasn't counting on a flesh bag right there. This is eventually the card draw that we're going to need. Turn to the command zone, yes. Because there's a whole element with this commander where it's like, just because you can evoke something doesn't mean you should every time. But if you have the mana, I mean, for 9 mana, yeah, you can evoke it and then do the make a copy of it, which is pretty ridiculous. Ooh, a Gigantha. Gigantha can solve a lot of those mana woes that we're having, but it's going to be a turn on that. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we gotta pop them because I think the commander's probably coming back here very soon. Pump the Omnath. Time for a Bane of Progress. We'll get a Scry off of that, which is always nice. I forget to use Path of Ancestry in Paper so much. Like, it just stares me right in the face, and I forget that I have it all of the time. Risen Reef is an insane value card that I think we need pretty badly in this moment, as we have not valued very much. Yeah, there we go. Shutting down that Voltron player. Bane of Progress, the anti-Voltron card. Feels so good to play one. It's rare that it's rare that I actually play them because I don't play that much green. Yep. How to destroy a Voltron deck. He's back to the Stone Age too. He's on 4 lands. We could probably actually leave him alone for a bit, although now that he's weak. Yeah, the problem is going to be the Maze of Iths. Like, we're going to have to put... Well, I guess it's just the 1 maze, even still. The 2/8 is kind of a problem in that it's just big and stops a lot. I am concerned that the mono black deck might just be like... They've played 2 spells, basically, and they're both removal spells. That's concerning. Fighter class? Yep. Just keep them coming. Keep them coming. What are we searching for? Dragoon's Lance. Job select, night during your turn. Creature is flying. So he's literally just trying to get a creature in. Okay, that's fine with me. That is fine with me. And they scoop. Yep. That is unsurprising. We have... I mean, they've eaten all of the removal, right? Like, took a Toxic Deluge, got rid of 2 things. Flesh Bag got them good. We sent a Crib Swap their way. Bane of Progress. That is the point. Like, I'm usually... For the most part, I'm usually fairly level-headed about games, but that is, like... You cannot win if you eat that much removal, right? Like... we've basically ganged up on them. But also, I guess they were super far ahead, so there is that. Trouble in pairs is pretty disgusting. I think we take the card draw this turn because we have Risen Reef, and Risen Reef does stuff with lands. Even though ramp is always king, but I think it just makes sense to. Opponent's gonna defile our Omnath. Yep. Yeah. So far the mono black deck is removal.deck. Not completely thrilled about that. Whenever this creature or another elemental you control enters, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it on the battlefield tapped if you do. If you don't, put the card into your hand. Yep, that's pretty good. Oh, okay. It cares about this creature or another elemental. Okay. I think we go the greedy play and try to get Gigantha in. This one gets lands. If we can untap with Gigantha, which seems unlikely at this point, but if that should happen. Phyrexian Delver? Yeah, let's just... Yeah, I mean... Yep, Flesh Bag. God, if we have Ashling and Risen Reef and we start getting all those evoke triggers going, that's pretty disgusting. Plant token down, not much lost for the K&T player. I'd say K&T is probably the farthest ahead just because they have a lot of lands their commander's still in. They have the Trouble in Pairs also, and now they're ramping. But the mono black deck is the one that's going to be just like the most nightmarish to deal with. This K&T deck doesn't strike me as something that's like probably going to be doing loads of damage trying to... there's a line of play where we could go... Yeah, let's try this. Okay. I'm going to try the Gigantha. If for some reason we can untap with Gigantha, that's a lot of extra mana that we very badly need. Eclipsed Flamekin is not on my radar. Enters, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an elemental, island, or mountain card from among them. Put it in your hand. That seems pretty good. So, if this doesn't work... If Gigantha goes down, then next turn we can go like Risen Reef, Flame Raider, and whatever one we just saw on top of our deck there. And that should get us... There should be some cool value in that play. Because also, there's a Scry in there too, so... Still, yeah, I'd really like to be able to... If we untap with Gigantha, we can play a lot of cards. Play a lot of cards. Flame Raider, 2 mana of any combinations. Yep, okay, this is the new one, so Smoke Raider was the old one. Don't say passing with all the mana up. That would be probably not great. Dawnglade Regent, you become the Monarch. As long as you're the Monarch, permanents you control have hexproof. Disgusting. There's a nasty one. Surprisingly, I've seen very little of that one over the years. That was Commander Legends, so that's been out a long time. Commander Legends was a giant set. There was a lot of cards in that set. See what else opponents got. Atla Palani, huh? Okay. So they might be just doing just like a big creature ramp deck, which it's not the worst K&T thing that I've ever seen. It's probably more manageable than some, you know, combo-y or what's the word I want? Like, I can't even think of the word now. Pillow fort nonsense. Okay. Here's the question. Do we get to untap with a Gigantha? So that's 3, that's 3. So we need 8 mana total. 4, 5, 6, 7. There's another line in which we go, just if we untap with Gigantha, where we just go Horde of Notions and then use the ability on whatever we feel like using the ability on. We won't get the... This will give haste, but it won't cascade. This is just kind of value. This blows up more stuff. Hey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Is it Rob Boomsman? Did I say that right? Yep, right now we are playing Ashling the Limitless. This is the pre-con. I bet they're trying to get this thing killed, so we're just going to take it. That looks like either they're going to cast a board wipe, or they are trying to get it in the graveyard so they can pull it out, and neither of those. I'm just going to take that damage. Alright, do we get a Gigantha? Nope. No Gigantha. So I think this is going to be the value turn, where we just try to get all these small things in. There's a land. Ideally, we need one that's untapped. So green, blue. We want to save the red, I think. Do we want the scry? We'll take the scry now, I guess. Red, red, blue. Okay. Ooh. Moldrotha? Huh. I mean, I guess we just draw it. Given how much removal has gone off, I think we need that. I can't put that to the bottom in good conscience. Let's go with the Eclipsed Flamekin. No response to the Trouble in Pairs. Which one do we want first? Does it matter? I don't know. Real elemental island or mountain. There are no elementals, so we'll take the mountain. Chromatic Lantern is ramp and color fixing. Play this. Play this. Yeah, Risen Reef is a stupid card. Put the land in. We don't need to reveal anything. Nothing to do with that mana. Okay. So we have some value set up, finally. The question is, have we gotten through all of the board wipes of the mono black deck? And I do not know. Uvenwald Hydra is a big one. Changing the song out real quick. You've heard this deck is pretty ass compared to the counters one. How's it looking so far? Do you mean the original Ashling? So far, I mean, this deck is really interesting. So right now I'm playing the Precon. The Precon probably needs like a bit more ramp in it. I actually didn't look through it that hard, but whatever hand I kept didn't ramp probably in the way that you want to be for a deck that's full of like 5 and 8 drops. But the ability is strong, right? So we evoked a Maelstrom Wanderer, and that got us into Omnath and a removal spell against a very needed target at the time. So like evoking a Maelstrom Wanderer is very strong. We dropped the Bane of Progress. Was that the hard cast? That was a hard cast. Yeah, we'll go for the land right here. I think ramp is king in this moment. We have a handful of really expensive stuff, so the card advantage we can try to make up with Risen Reef, assuming it sticks, and various like reanimate. Like if we reanimate this, I mean this is a nice card. It's like a really nice pickup for elemental decks, just like value. You know, if you can blink it, reanimate it, stuff like that. You know, so here's what I'll say. I mean, in this game, a Damnation, this thing getting back, you know, so 2 Fleshbag Marauders, a Defile, and a Toxic Deluge. There's been so much removal this game that it's sort of hard to tell exactly where this deck stands, but I'd say the late game power of this deck is absolutely insane. How it performs through the early turns, I can't say yet, because it's just been a removal fest, but yeah, the end game power of this deck just looks absurd. Like, I mean, look at all the stuff out of the Precon. Muldrotha, Horde of Notions, Gigantha, Bane of Progress, Omnath, and Maelstrom Wanderer. Those are insane Magic cards. So, thus far, I'm a fan. You know, there might be a world in which I use, like, the Elemental Incarnations, just because I really like those cards. I know they're not ETBs, and it's probably an ETB-heavy kind of deck, but yeah, I'm a fan of the Elemental Carnations. Also, the, like, Verdant Force, those type cards are really interesting to me. Just the really big, dumb, old-school classic Elementals are... It's where I want to be. Where I want to be. Hey, it's the first thing they've played that isn't removal. I guess there was a reanimation spell, but it got a removal spell, so... Look at that. Look at that. They might be out of removal, finally. We should start counting up our mana, though. That's the thing we should be doing. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 mana to our name currently. That could be Horde of Notion. Okay, there's a land. Drop the land. This can potentially get more lands. I think we're in hardcore ramp mode. Yeah, we can't get through the 15-15, that's for sure. In fact, we may want to have something we can throw in front of it. Muldrotha... Let's see. What did I say? 12 mana? That's 5. This will be 5. I'm not convinced that I want to evoke anything. Okay, so I think maybe just... Did we get our commander? For 5, we can also get a Horde of Notions, but I guess if we're doing Horde of Notions, I want to have that mana to be able to use the thing. So I think we go on the hard ramp turn right here. So let's get Chromatic Lantern. Let's get this Thorn guy. Do we want to do this the other way? That gives it Evoke. Yeah, let's get the Thorn guy. Shot at more lands is always going to be good here if we can catch up on the ramp. When this creature dies, you may exile it. If you do, put another target card from your graveyard on top of your library. That's also really good. There's a lot of recursion built into this deck. Let's go Risen Reef on the bottom. There's a land. No... Wow, Haunting Voyage is in this deck. This deck looks pretty good out of the box. I might buy this deck. I haven't bought a Commander deck in years at this point. I think I might buy this deck. This looks like very much my speed. Yeah. Risen Reef. I guess the thing we gotta watch out for, because if they play this and this starts making us discard, that wouldn't be amazing. Impulsivity. You may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell will be put into a graveyard, do we have any of those? We have a Crib Swap. You know, there could be a time for that Crib Swap. Particularly on this big guy right there. That's the whole thing. Oh, did we mill some stuff? Timeless Lotus. Well, that's interesting. Cultivate. Haunting Voyage. Garrick's Uprising. Okay, cast our commander. Risen Reef. That's a piece of removal on a stick. As far as I can tell, the only thing that this deck is lacking, I can tell so far, is ramp. Everything else actually looks like it's in really good shape. We're starting to ramp now, mostly on the hands of Risen Reef, which is, again, an insane magic card. No good attacks for us right here, so we'll just pass. And if this dies... Is it creature? No, it's put a card, which means we put Haunting Voyage back on top of our deck. And Haunting Voyage could actually end this game because of the Maelstrom Wanderer. Like, that could be exactly the thing we need to get through all the removal of the black deck. Impulsivity is any graveyard sick card. Ooh, is it? Cast target instant source card from a graveyard. Wow. That's my kind of card. 7 mana's a bit, but yeah, I mean, so that's actually a big pickup for red because, you know, red struggles with a lot of things in the game. And, you know, it's just like there's a lot of tools it doesn't have access to, and for 7 mana, it's a little pricey, I get it, but, you know, you could ritual your way into this thing, and, you know, I like this. I like this as a design. I haven't looked at it in a while, but there was a period of time where, was it like Dire Fleet, Daredevil, where you could cast spells out of opponent's graveyard. You had to pay for them, but that was a thing that I was looking at, and a card that I wish I explored more a few years ago, but even today, I think, you know, as like things get more efficient and cheaper, I think that's still a decent card, especially if you're like, is it ETB? If it's ETB, you can Hearth and Home it. I can't remember the wording exactly, but yeah, Impulsivity, cool little card. I still want to be able to, like, Hostility is the older elemental incarnation in red, and like, it's an interesting card, but it's tricky to use. I wish it were a commander, because that would make it so much easier to build around it. The best way I've found to build around it is when, who was it, Rocco, where you can tutor for it. But yeah, I wish that one was legendary, just because it's like such a unique card, but it's hard to build around in the 99 of a deck. Endurance. Up to one target player puts all the cards from their graveyard on the bottom of their library. Yeah, that could be good against the mono black deck, who seems to want to reanimate everything under the sun. Loads of open mana, lots of cards in hand over there. That's all very scary. Don't love any of that. We should start thinking about our next turn, because we have so far a lot of options at our disposal. You like a precon that comes with good pieces but needs some tuning. You like deck building. Yeah, this deck does seem to be pretty strong out of the box. And you know, as I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know what creatures I would replace. Like, all of these creatures seem very good. Isn't this one expensive? This is the actual precon list. I'm not mistaken, right? Pretty sure. Dance of the Elements, Lorwyn precon. It says precon. I assume it's the precon, but I did not fact check everything super hard. Actually, yeah, maybe while we're here. Ashling the Limitless precon. Come on. Why is nothing loading? Wow. No, it really just... Yeah, it really just is chock full here. 36 creatures. This is a pretty good precon, honestly. Yeah, if you want to build a little bit, it's probably not this deck. The creature choices for this deck, I mean, I don't know that there's that much that I would change, other than just like me wanting to play silly stuff. But in terms of like power and synergy, ooh, Reaper from the Abyss. There's one you don't see. Did it already play a removal spell? Yes. Awesome. So we're gonna lose something. What do we... Probably the Risen Reef. I mean, Risen Reef is a stupid magic card. There's the Morbid Opportunist, yeah. So opponents starting to get their stuff online a little bit here. Yeah, it looks like just removal dot deck. What are they going for? They go for our commander. It's not a bad play. But Risen Reef is still here, and Risen Reef is disgusting. So I personally go after the Risen Reef. Oh, you know what we can do? There's a lot of open mana over here. I need opponent to... So when the time is right, we can go Impulsivity and get the Haunting Voyage. No, we need to foretell the Haunting Voyage to be able to do that. Jubilation, huh? This creature enters. Creatures you control get 2/2 and trample. Okay, that's disgusting. Man, this deck. You may destroy target artifact or enchantment. Reaper from the Abyss does pose some problems here. Do we have any removal in here? We have the crib swap. What does this say? Target elemental card. We could technically crib swap the Reaper from the Abyss. In fact, we could crib swap a lot of things. I think we're going Horde of Notions. Scry. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have exactly 10 mana, so we can get 2 cards out with... Ooh, Selvala? Yeah, Selvala's disgusting. Put on top. Yeah, keep that there. We need haste. We need more haste in this deck. Yeah, this deck comes with mono green Selvala in it. What? I'm getting a little bit of damage over here. Horde of Notions is, I would say, an underloved card. I mean, super old school. I'm sure it saw some play back in the day, but yeah, I mean, there's disgusting elementals now, and like you can reanimate them permanently at instant speed. That's not something that comes along every day. You could Muldrotha into Wanderer and just spin the wheel. Yeah, that is tempting. That is a tempting line of play. There's no guarantees on that play. Horde of Notions gets us specific things, which is what I was kind of after right now. But no, the Muldrotha... Yeah, I mean, like, this Maelstrom Wanderer is definitely at the top of the list of things I want to get back, so... Opponent has disconnected. Let's see if they come back or not. All for spinning the wheel, but yeah, right now we do need... Like, that crib swap? I mean, it's a 5-mana crib swap, but getting rid of Reaper from the Abyss does seem like a pretty big deal. Yep, now we gotta wait. Hopefully they come back. Hopefully they come back. Yeah, I mean, so far I like what I'm seeing from this deck. The synergy is great. Oh, missed some chat here. 5 years ago, that is a list of Many Commander Boogeyman. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. It really is. It was from Malltown. What I got from it is that more collection of archetypes not quite meshing together, like a starting point to take a third of the deck and you build from there. Yeah, that could be fair. Like, you could probably refine this thing even more. Right now, I mean, with the Evoke theme, I'm seeing you go heavy Graveyard, like heavy Reanimator. It's probably the way to go. Reanimator ETB type stuff. And I don't know that I necessarily have a big enough picture yet to figure out what I would change, but yeah, it's looks pretty powerful out of the box. Just a lot of heavy hitters, like you said, a lot of boogeymen, former boogeymen of the format, Muldrotha. Maelstrom Wanderer. I mean, that's two boogeymen right there. Omnaths are always disgusting. Jegantha is a weirdly good commander too. That I don't know that it's necessarily gotten all the love it deserves, but you can make a powerful Jegantha if you want to. I use mine for tap creature tribal, which is to play like. I mean, it makes a lot of mana, and you can make bad cards really good. Like, for some reason, Razia is really good in that deck because you're taking off, like, 4 mana from Razia. And even at that point, I mean, she's just like a big flying attacker blocker, but that's a thing that deck struggles with, so it's actually, like, pretty meaningful. Does the eject command still work? Ah, they're back. Okay. Okay, damage is resolved, end combat, second main phase. Yeah, now we just, we sit on this Horde of Notions. Ooh, and we're the Monarch now? Love that. Love that. And their stuff doesn't have, hexproof or whatever. Okay, that all worked out pretty good. Forest. 2/2 and trample, huh? Oh, they have Alchemist Refuge? No, it's a Corrosive Bridge, okay. They do have an Alchemist Refuge, though. We need more land destruction in this deck. There's an Emeria. 2 planes, 3 planes, 4 planes. They could potentially be on like 6 planes right here, and then we got to deal with Emeria. Although, yeah, they got some stuff. Okay. Yeah, we're going to want to make this next turn cycle really count. Part of me is like, we'll see if we need to use the Crib Swap. If we can get away with not using the Crib Swap, then I think we get Maelstrom Wanderer for the haste. Probably makes Jegantha like nearly mana neutral, probably. Yeah, if nothing goes horribly wrong, I think we can try and look to probably eliminate one player. I don't know if we can get both or not. Power is probably a little short for that, but... God, oh, if we evoke this... If we evoke this thing, that's +4/+4. We'd have to get our commander back to do it. It's a lot of mana, but... Where's Jegantha at? Jegantha's in the grave? Okay. Wow, opponent's got that Emeria active. Wow. Didn't see that coming. Get back to the Dawnglade Regent. That's kind of disgusting. Okay, so they got the Monarch trigger on the stack. We're going to Crib Swap this thing. I'd prefer that they did not have hexproof on all of their things. Crib swap targeting the Dunglade Regent. This is Exile too, and Exile is gonna get us around that area. Underrated card. I know he gives him a 1/1. I mean, honestly, well, so like Beast Within and Generous Gift, they hit every permanent type, which this doesn't, but this is still in that same vein. Exile is very important. I know I have a ton of these in a box, and they just never seem to make the list. I guess the problem is you have Swords and Path and White, which are insanely good. Do you need 3 Exile spells? Let's see what opponent's got. Final Showdown. Wow. What modes they choosing? Lose all abilities, gains indestructible, destroy all creatures. Okay, what gets us the most value on reanimation here? Bane of Progress could take down the Trouble in Pairs. It would destroy our chromatic thingy, though. We can flash this in. So the board's gonna get wiped. They're gonna lose the Dawn. Maybe we just flash the Endurance at an appropriate time. This could pop for like 6 damage. That's okay. Yeah, maybe we just flash the Endurance after all this. So board has been wiped again. Crib swap fizzles. Opponent becomes the Monarch. Wait, why didn't we get to, why don't we get to use this trigger? That's kind of the thing that I was counting on. That's not good. Did I miss that trigger? Oh, all creatures lose all abilities. That's why. That is why. Okay, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I was counting on this Haunting Voyage. So a thing we could do, in theory, is get our commander, evoke this, and get 2 copies of this, which would get us 4 creatures out of the grave. We are in an absolute removal slogfest, though. That is for sure. Open the way. Field cards from top of your library, put X land cards. Okay. Ivory Tower. Oh, God. We have exactly enough mana to go Muldrotha, Horde of Notions, sit on an activation. The problem is the massive amount of cards that everyone has. Wait, did they take an extra turn? Yeah, Final Showdown is very disgusting. Shieldred. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature or planeswalker of their choice. Okay. Return it to the battlefield. I'm actually not as familiar with this version of it. So that gets the commander down finally. So we're going to end step this Endurance. Honestly, Impulsivity on even just Haunting Voyage for 2 gets us like Maelstrom Wanderer and Gigantha. Or Horde of Notions, which are both disgusting. I think that's probably the worthwhile play. We're gonna shuffle this player's graveyard because they have the Active Emeria. And Active Emeria is really difficult to beat without graveyard removal. Even though, like, what do they have? I mean, they have an Atla. Just anything that keeps coming back, especially, yeah, there's an Uvenwald Hydra in there. Yeah, that's all much safer in their deck. Even though the mono black deck is also a very good choice. They've shown that they want to reanimate their mono black. I mean, ideally, we'll get to, like, do this again with this thing and also get the black deck at some point, but... Okay. Let's try to have a turn here. Impulsivity. Casting Haunting Voyage. Oh, does this exile it? Yeah, that exiles it. That's unfortunate. Well, still better than nothing. Cast the card. This is our big moment. Choosing Elemental. Getting Maelstrom Wanderer and Gigantha. Wait, no. Nope, it's gotta be Horde of Notions. We have one Horde of Notions activation up. That's like decent damage. I mean, we could just slam this thing. Could also slam this thing. Slamming that thing's not the worst idea either. How much damage is this? That's 12, 19, 21. Oh, this would be lethal. Yeah, let's just slam this and go for it. They have a lot of mana. They are not at a place where we want to mess around with them. Yeah, that's what it was. That was going to be the plan with Horde, but the Gigantha mana is a little weird. So, like, I was thinking about that very longly and intensely, and I just I couldn't work it out in my head. Plus, this gets us the damage because if we got that Gigantha, we'd have a bunch of colored mana that I guess we could use Gigantha, or we could use the thing again. But we kind of just need this power right now to try and eliminate this player. They've got some open mana, so I think I'm just going to send everything that way in case they have removal. And then we take our chances with the mono black deck. But this is a lot of mana. I mean, look, this is a lot of mana plus 8 cards plus life gain plus card draw on board. The black deck has, like, they've missed a lot of land drops. They have only this Shieldred and a Maze of Ith, so... you know, I think we're... Yeah, they might blow the board up and it might get annoying, but we've got at least a Muldrotha to kind of do something with, and they don't have that much else going, plus they're, like, way behind on lands, so... eliminating the player here seems like the correct call. Based on how this mono black deck has gone, I mean, I'm sure we're going to lose some stuff into our next turn. Down they go. Nice. Nice. Took us a while to get there. Turn 10, but... Alright, so one player down. One remaining. Let's see what the mono black deck has. And we're the Monarch to boot. Alright. Alright. But yeah, I was looking at that Gigantha play a lot, and I very much did want to, like, make that play happen. But, you know, if we untap with Horde of Notions, then it's... I mean, 1, the game's probably over, and 2... we can definitely do that play. We'll see if they've got more board wipes, though. We do have to be careful. They could actually just run us out of cards. I guess, well, Muldrotha plus this thing can kind of refill the hand a little bit. Also, Risen Reef is disgusting. Let's see what opponent's got. What up, Paulie D? Come on, Gamble. Yeah, I mean, generally, I like to build commanders also. I'm not like I'm not someone that's like just wants to open the box and play with it. Like I like the challenge of deck building and doing stuff. So yeah, I totally get all that. This deck might be the exception. I've always loved element. Oh god. Each player mills 10 cards. Choose a creature. Oh no. Oh no. Well, this is going to be disgusting. Where is a homeward path? Are they going to... Let's see. No, okay. They get one creature. I mean, they can get something good. Hopefully they don't have, like... I don't know. What's the play? There's a Shieldred. We're probably going to lose some creatures. I mean, that's probably what's going to happen. Getting this thing killed is actually not the worst, because I do want to remove their graveyard. Yeah, if we untap with all this, we're definitely getting the Gigantha back and then getting to the silliness with the Horde of Notions. For sure. Gotta see how this thing shakes out, though. Come on. Let's resolve the thing. Sepulchral Primordial is kind of... Well, there's only one opponent. I guess that's us. They go for... Yeah, Shieldred. I mean, you gotta go Shieldred, right? Each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. Okay, there's worse things than that. So far what they're showing me is not strong enough to overcome what we have. They're at 21. They do have some blocking. We're going to lose a creature. I mean, we could reanimate this thing. We could reanimate this thing. And that, again, makes everything giant again. Is there anything that like makes sense to get killed? Getting that killed, well, we lost our big thing in that, so. Yeah, I mean, the smartest thing is probably just this and swing. Shatter the Sky. Each player who controls a creature with power 4 or greater draws a card, then destroy all creatures. Yeah, I don't know if we need that right now. Play the land. Get Selvala. Oh, yeah, this is disgusting. Make a load of mana. Here's the power of Horde of Notions. Wow, this is going to be a lot of mana. Yeah, that's pretty good. We can use all that into Horde. We'll get that thing last. Get the Gigantha finally. I suppose we could have got Risen Ray first or something, probably. Get... Yeah, get this guy. Actually, let me get this thing. I like the card advantage that this thing's going to bring. Because our hand's starting to get a little thin now. They could actually run us out of cards, which I'm not, like, thrilled about. Realm Walker. This one say? Cast them off the top. We like that. Get this Jubilation. And there's the Jagantha into the Horde of Notions. Seems pretty good. Get the Jubilation. I think I did that in the wrong order. Yep. Pretty sure. Yeah, opponent scoops there. All right. Yeah, that is the win. All right. Yeah, let's take a look at the deck. I'm going to run another game here in a sec. I'll probably run to the bathroom in a sec, but loads of top-end power. Yeah, I mean, this is a lot of big elementals, big spells. Yeah, the top-end power is insane. Do you guys want me to run the pre-con again, or you want me to make a couple updates to this thing? Let's take a look at the ramp. It's sort of ramp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's not bad on the ramp count. For how big this deck is, I'd probably still add like 2 cards though. Updates? Alright, do some updates. I'm not going to go crazy, but definitely, I mean, this deck just needs all of the ramp that's ever existed, so. In terms of creatures, the token power on top is equal to the number of creatures you control. For 6 mana, it seems underwhelming. Get rid of that. Create a number of 5 in red equal to the number of colors among permanents you control, then gain life. That doesn't seem bad. That actually seems pretty strong. Destroy target creature an opponent controls, you gain 3 life. I think we can leave that. Belonging. We'll leave that. Leave some of the newer stuff. Card draw. Fury is fun. Am I mistaken in saying that like Fury and all of those were really expensive? Or did they get reprinted before this? Or is this the first reprint of those cards and they're actually becoming affordable? That's life gain and life loss. That can always be good. That's interesting. Abundant Growth is a card that's not doing much for me. You can definitely do better than that. Cream of the Crop's always interesting. Hoofprints of the Stag. I don't... Cute card, and I've always wanted to, like, use it, but I don't think it's good enough. So we need cards. I think ramp and card draw are the 2 main things that we probably need a little more of. Like, this deck is just... It has most of the tools. You just need the mana to be able to get to all of it. So, it's got Kodamas. It's got Cultivate. What else we got for ramp options? What do I like? I mean, what about... There's a lot of green in this deck. Nissa's Pilgrimage is actually fine. I really like that style of ramp. We could probably use a mana doubler or two also. We get Pilgrimage. I mean, we can get just like 3 visits. Until Fury got banned everywhere? Okay. What about, guys, remind me, what other, like, just, you know, like, choose a creature type? I mean, Urza's Incubator? Yeah, that's the obvious one, right? Those still, like, $50? What other creature cost reduction cards are there? There's got to be a bunch. Yeah, I mean, Urza's Incubator for sure. Removal, what's this one do? Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to player, you may sacrifice one of them. If you do, reveal cards from the top library until it shares a creature type with that card onto the battlefield and rests on the bottom. Oh, that's weird. I want to try that one time before I get rid of it. If that player has more cards in hand than you, draw cards equal to the difference. Yeah, that's pretty good. We could use... God, there's so many 5-drops in this deck. What's this do? X shapeshifters. Creatures you control have tap. Add 1 mana of any color. I mean, that's got to be somewhat strong, right? Yeah, that feels kind of strong. Kindred... I mean, do we need Kindred Summons? You need to have a lot of things in play for it to be good, which is kind of the weird part. In a sense, it's like it's kind of just card draw. I mean, it gets creatures, which is good, but I don't know. The mana cost in this deck is so high. Like, when are you going to cast that while also being able to cast all the other ridiculous stuff that is in here? I really want a Mirari's Wake. Heartless Summoning? Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Yeah, Heartless Summoning is an interesting choice. That is for sure. Let's get a Mirari. Can we have less 5-drops? What 5-drops don't we need here? Ingot Chewer is removal. We like that. I mean, Living Death for what's going on with this deck. Yeah, I mean, probably a stronger version of this deck is just like full Reanimator, you know, go heavy with the mono black stuff, Living Death and Buried Alive, that sort of stuff. What's this one do? That's what we need, more 5-drops. Just keep those 5-drops coming. Titan of Industry destroys artifacts, enchantments, gains life, makes things. Okay, yeah, it's pretty good. Green Warden's pretty good. Yeah, the creatures in this deck are strong. What are we cutting? How does everyone feel about Timeless Lotus? I really haven't actually played it. I mean, it feels like a worse Mirari's Wake. Is what it feels like. It does give you the Wooburg. That Wooburg's interesting though. Helps pay for the thing. Fist of Suns might be. Given what's going on in this deck, I feel like Fist of Suns might be a card worthwhile. Maybe we can live without a Fertile Ground. Wow, this is slow. One Power Glove. You could probably run the green medallion in this deck because there's so many green cards in it. But you could also run like Cloud Key at 3. Oh, there's 40 lands. We can get rid of a land easily. Get rid of a forest. Okay, cool. We'll run this back. Ideally, we want something more casual. Let's make our own game. Cool. We'll set this up. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. No one wants to play bracket 2, apparently. Yeah, Heartless Summoning does sound spicy. I think it does work with the Evoke. I'd have to double check. Alright, no one wants to join our game. It's frustrating. Joining bracket 3. See which one fires first. Bracket 3 might be tough for us. A couple game changers could blow us out. No discard, mill, theft, annihilator, thick. That's a bracket 2 game. See if we have any luck with this one. Yep, looks like that one's gonna fire. Alright, bracket 3, this might be kind of rough. We need I think a board wipe or 2 needs to go off, based on what I see from this deck. I mean, maybe not, but Flame Braider could get us going pretty quickly. This hand does not draw cards, which might be concerning. Oh, Toxrill. Well, this is going to be probably over pretty quick. We'll keep. Yeah, we're probably going to need to find one of our big, like, card advantage pieces. Bummed you missed the last one? Sorry. But hey, welcome in. Yeah, we're playing Ashling the Limitless, and we played one game already, and it's got a really powerful top end. Like, the deck, there's a lot of powerful cards in the deck out of the box. I would say if you buy the deck, which I really strongly thinking about doing, and again, I haven't bought a deck in years, but you really don't need to change the creatures much. It's just kind of like the ramp and the removal, kind of the other stuff in the deck you might want to tweak a little bit. But the creatures themselves, for the most part, are like, oh, this is pretty much where you want to be for this deck. So it appears to be a very well-built deck out of the box. My friend's saying the new set looks really white balanced. I haven't really looked through. I haven't really looked through the limited stuff much. It is our turn. What do we have for lands? Yeah, I'll just get this guy. I mean, Ashling has been pretty good no matter what you do with her. Even the Extinguisher was great in her day. I need to build the Extinguisher, but yeah, I can see the Extinguisher being good. I mean, you just put like Unblockable on it, Menace, something like that, and just watch people sack all their stuff. I mean, I'm an OG Ashling the Pilgrim fan, right? I built that deck in 2011, and I've never taken it apart. Maybe about 2 years ago, I went through like a big project where I revamped it a lot, and like now it's pretty strong, right? Like it could hang probably upper bracket 3. Bracket 4 might get a little rough just of how fast those games can be, but if the game, as long as like the game can slow down a little bit and it's not just someone drag racing to the win, it's still very strong. I mean, sometimes Repercussion just wins you the game. Repercussion Blast with Sack, you're like, oh, I win. I always meant to build the Extinguisher. It's been sitting in a box for a long time. Let me change the music up a little. Let's see. Let's try Progressive Gent. back to our turn. Nissa's Pilgrimage will be nice. Progressive Gent might be too heavy for me. Let's try this one. This is my first time running with music, so it's all new to me. Do I still do non-stream Commander? Not at the moment. It takes far too long to film and edit videos. I just don't have the time anymore. I work 2 jobs. I have a band. Got a new lady friend. I've got other music projects going on, so it's just like to film and edit and upload a video would take me about 7 to 8 hours, and then if you spend more time, like if you needed to film a second game because the first one sucked, or you know, if you just like if it's a deck that like you needed to spend a while building, if you couldn't build it in like 10 or 15 minutes, yeah, I mean, you're talking, it was about 7 hours to try and get everything done, and it just, I can't devote that kind of time anymore. Wish I could, so. What is that? Shire Terrace. Oh, okay, so it just color fixes. So we're on pace to go Nissa's Pilgrimage, Timeless Lotus. Doesn't seem awful. Clay-fired bricks. You know, I really didn't mess with that set that much, but I don't know, the craft with artifact mechanic did seem kind of interesting to me. Yeah, probably never have time to do this, but it'd be fun to do like just all the crafts in a deck. So you play that, you get a plains, reveal it, searcher, and then you gain 2 life. It's not awful. Especially like, because that can be reanimated with a lot of things. Maelstrom Wanderer is exactly the value that we were looking for and hoping on, so we're a few turns away from that still. We got to do all this other stuff first, but... Oh, crap, that only casts creatures. Right, I forgot about that. We need someone to play an Urborg. We can get Jegantha, is what we can do. Okay, that's still a pretty good play. Still a pretty good play. The other decks here do kind of seem more solitaire than control. Yep, that. This one's got the removal spells built in, so that's always a concern. But yeah, solitaire and I don't even know what you call this thing, but just a nightmare. Reki, History of Kamigawa. It's crazy to me how much faster the format has gotten. When I did that Haktos video the other day, Haktos was last played 6 years ago, and I mean, there were a ton of like 5 and 6 drops in that deck, because that's where a lot of the value had to come from. Things like Sunbird's Invocation, stuff like that, and just that stuff is all gone. I mean, Commander looks a lot more like a competitive format than it ever used to. The way the mana curves of the decks go, right? Like, gone are the days of, like, you know, super big late game slow Commander decks. Like, I remember, you know, in 2012, I remember you would plan for things to do on, like, turn 10 or turn 12, right? You're like, what do I do when my hand's completely empty on turn 10 if a board wipe goes off? And, you know, something like a Kindred summons or, you know, some ridiculous thing like that, I guess. And, you know, now that's just, like, not how you build a Commander deck anymore. I tend to see Toxrill as Black Elesh Norn. Okay, that's reasonable way to look at that. We have one artifact removal. What's this do? I don't know that that's worth the artifact removal. So, I mean, slam a Maelstrom Wanderer, see where that gets us, I think. I wonder if there's a way we can also get the Nissa's Pilgrimage. That would be most ideal. Let's get blue and green. Let's get the Nissa's Pilgrimage. I don't know if we can. Well, we'll get a land back that we can play. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do this. I haven't worked out all the math. If we have to course correct, we have to course correct. I do want to get this pilgrimage down. Okay, and can we still get this? No. What do we do then? Probably get like Ashling. Then Nissa's Pilgrimage may not have been worth it. Wait. Try one more time. The math test of tapping Jegantha. No generic. 1 and 2. Yeah, no, that puts us quite short. Okay. Let's get our commander then. Actually, can we get the thingy? Creature only. No, we can't get that thingy. Okay. Yeah, just get our commander. Seems like the safest bet. No generic. Elemental. Elemental. Do we want endurance? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of an ETB thing. Typically, you want to, like, hose a graveyard with it. But, yeah, we'll wait on that. What about this thing? We can get this thing. I think we can, anyway. No, maybe we can't. Okay. Yep, Jegantha math test failed. So next turn we go back to trying to slam the Maelstrom Wanderer. I don't know. We could slam it there, and that's cool. It sort of depends on what you hit. There is something about just like getting those lands into play and not getting stuck on lands right there. But I don't know. If we slam that Wanderer, like, this board could get wiped. If we slammed a Wanderer, it almost definitely does. Like, whatever removal people have, they definitely empty on us. The UI for Jegantha is awful on MTGO. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, no, I could go Wanderer instead for sure, but like that pilgrimage has to get down, right? Like, I don't want to be on 3 lands, you know, going into turn 5. That just, something about that feels very bad to me. And if we untap with all this, we should be able to do some pretty wild stuff. That's an Oko, so maybe not. We gonna get elked? It's already an elk. We have been elked. I mean, we still have the Jegantha. The commander we can get back. I'm actually not as worried about that. Whoa, that's a lot of mana. Toxrill? Toxrill. Which end step? Each end step. Good God. I mean, that probably needs to get elked, right? I was going to try and kill the Oko, but, like, I don't think that makes sense any longer. We're going to lose Flame Braider. I'm not thrilled about that. Boots. What does a dig site engineer do? You can make construct. Oh, that's pretty good. And I should probably think about that in a equipment deck. God, there's so many choices for equipment decks now. Like, there is an overwhelming amount of good choices you can make for an equipment deck. It's 4/4 with haste, yeah. Yep. Flame Raider goes down. Opponent gets a 1/1. I think, what do they draw a card or something when that happens too? What does this one do? Leaves the battlefield, choose an opponent. If that player has more cards in hand than you, draw cards equal to the difference. Okay. Maelstrom Wanderer. Maelstrom Wanderer. Cascade into Omnath. The landfall is interesting. Deals damage to any target equal to the number of elementals you control. It's currently 3. Ticking down the Omnath feels like a good idea. Or the Oko, rather. And a Titan of Industry. Yeah, that seems sick. We can destroy target artifact or enchantment. Gain 5 life. Make a Rhino. The 4/4 is kind of tempting, honestly, in that we can just slam into the Toxrill really hard. In terms of, like, shooting the boots is, like, probably a good idea. Yeah, we'll shoot the boots. Oh, you get 2? Oh my god. That's ridiculous. You get 2? Shows you how much Titan of Industry I played. Yeah, get rid of the boots. And make a rhino. And everything has haste. And then we go to combat. And then we send it all into the Toxfril player. This is turn 5, by the way. So, yeah, this deck is kind of ridiculous, to be completely honest with you. And we didn't have, like, an insane start. We had, like, a decent start with a Flame Braider and a Nissa's Pilgrimage. I guess Maelstrom Wanderer can always make things crazy. Now, looks like they might... Probably going to soak up the 2 big ones, unfortunately, but... Haha, it's got trample. Yeah, opponent goes down to 26. They lose a bit there. We lose some stuff. They get 1/1s. Back to the command zone. Ideally, they will elk the Toxfril. 2020's green cards. Yeah, 2020 green cards are insane stuff. Game sees game. Gigant's already an elk. Missing land drops with only 3 lands in this deck with so many big creatures seems like the path to a loss. Yeah, that's also what I was thinking, right? Like, you know, just we need mana consistency in this deck. Really? Oh, they did elk it. Oh, thank God. Okay. Toxfril has been elked. So, okay. We've got a little bit of time here to try and make some things happen. What does this check for? Colors? Number of colors. We should have... No, we're missing white, so we'd be on 4 colors with that right now. Still, even 4 damage. 4 direct damage is quite a bit. Black Boom Rogue. Importantly, Gigantha's still in play, which is a giant mana source. Steel Overseer, good one. Good one. Despark on Omnath. Okay. It is exiled. The haste from Wanderer, I mean, that's the crazy one, right? Guys, I feel pretty good about this game. So, I mean, there's a lot to happen still, but we are in the driver's seat. Cultivate. Yep, more lands. So this one can't get the Timeless Lotus. That's worth noting. Yeah, our colors are a little wonky, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Just tap this thing, cultivate. What colors do we need? Probably get like a red and black. Feel like something that we're kind of short on. Play the land. 1, 2, 3. And get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, just slam this thing, I guess. Or we could straight we can straight evoke this. Yeah, maybe we just hardcast it. Do we want it as a card draw? Do we want the card draw spell, or do we want... I don't know that we care about 3 power. I'd rather get some cards. So essentially this is a harmonize. Yeah, there's more lands in a Garruk's Uprising. I like that. Anything we can do with... Can we get this? No, that's generic. Yep, nope, I think Chigantha mana going to waste again. Alright, so here's the tricky business. If we kill Toxroll, it probably just comes back. That's 3, 4, 5, 7. They would need some stuff for that to happen. I've had enough of Oko. And we'll send these 2 in here. Do I like this commander more than Horde of Notions? That's a great question. It is tricky. They both live in like a very similar space of... So this one you kind of like ETB them and then try to keep them in play. It is hard to say. Horde of Notions is like generically good in that it is permanent instant speed reanimation. This is a little bit more tricky, but if you have like a ton of mana, so like in the late game, I mean in the late game, I guess Horde of Notions is pretty ridiculous also, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. That is an excellent question. What I will say is this is new. Horde of Notions is old, and sometimes you just want to try the new thing. And you know, there's some value in that. And like, I don't know, you could probably switch like once you build out the 99 a little bit, you could probably switch between Ashling and Horde of Notions fairly interchangeably, I think. They really both kind of want the same things, as far as I can tell. Opponent scoops. One down. Yeah, that Oko is kind of their only play. I mean, it did some work. It elked 2 pretty good creatures, so there is that. But again, that's where that sort of land follow-up of, you know, not getting stuck on lands in the early game, because it's turn 7 now? Yeah, they were on like 3 or 4 lands. I didn't want that to be us, and that's why I went the Pilgrimage play over the Wanderer on that one turn. Playing catch up with your lands is a really bad time. But yeah, it's an interesting question between this and Horde of Notions. I don't have the answer yet. I would like to find it. Like, there's a part of me that is like very curious about that. I'd probably still need a bunch more games with this deck. I would also probably need to like tune this deck a bit more. God, if you do Flame Shadow Conjuring, oh god, what's the other one? The 6-mana one. Those would also be disgusting. Any of the token copiers doubling season. Okay, so yeah, maybe there are some differences. Yeah, like you can go the token route with this thing and really kind of get wild. One with the machine. Draw cards equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. Only 2. I'm sure that's not why they put it in the deck. I am surprised about how little this Urza player has done up to this point. Usually I expect to be dying by now. Guys, should I be running this just like generically in most decks? Because you have the other one too. You have the Iganjo one, but I think that one's 3 mana. And like getting that down on 2 seems very helpful. That's a question. On MTGO, a copy of Ashling the Limitless is $44 and the foil version is less than 2. Yeah, no one likes foils on MTGO. They do not look great. Living Death. Well, in case things go wrong, there's always Living Death. God, we untapped with like all of our stuff in play. That's kind of wild, huh? Now what do we do? I don't usually plan for things going this well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There could be a rift over there. We should find out if they have a rift before we do anything. So. Soaking up some damage. Titan of Industry is ridiculous. Down to 12 they go. It wasn't a rift. Unless they're waiting till unless they're like really trying to bait us with it. What next? I don't even know what to do. I'm going to go Timeless Lotus because we actually don't need to really commit that much to the board right now. If it's a rift, it's still going to hurt real bad, but like they're more likely to blow up all of our creatures, and I would rather have something that kind of sticks around. If we play this, we can get... Let's get the Garrix. We draw a card. Yep, that looks like it. Pass like that. The Giganta mana. Yeah, the Giganta mana is tricky. You know what this deck needs? It needs a couple of the Rugged Prairie style lands. Since we're looking at Giganta this hard. Does the mana curve start at 5? Yeah, more or less with this deck. Here's the mana curve. 3, 5, bunch of 6 and 7s. This is like an old school commander deck. Rewind the clock 10 years. Opponent scoops. Urza needs something big. They've been down to 2 cards for a while. Clayfire to Sketchy. There are similar cards that are better. Yeah, Tithe is the one that I like most, but that card is very expensive. So it's sort of a question. I like Gift of Estates also, but Gift of Estates, most of the time you can't play Gift of Estates until turn 3, so it's got that awkwardness. But 3 lands is a lot. Okay, there's the Urza coming down finally. What's this do again? Affinity for artifacts. Artifacts have menace. At the beginning of your end step, create a 0/0 colorless. Okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yep, the constructs. Okay, the construct army is growing now. We can get one with an Ingot Chewer 2 if we have Ashling first. If we play creatures with power 4 or greater, we get to draw cards. We do not have any of those currently. That is awkward. Huh. Kind of gotten ourselves into a little situation here. We could swing with everything, and if we lose everything in an attack, we just living death. It's not the worst plan. Let's go cycle this land. I'm going to go on the swing with everything plan and just put pressure on. Ooh, pump the team up. Maybe not. The 8/8 changes that equation. Because that means they block and kill 1. They probably take the rest. Okay, yeah, that changes that equation. Or we could just get everything killed and then living death. Yeah, okay, let's just swing with everything and then use living death. Yeah, they take 14. Although, the 2 we want to... okay, maybe we're not on living death yet. Okay, recast our commander. I mean, they're almost definitely going to attack, so I guess cast Ingot Chewer. We could evoke Ingot Chewer. Maybe we should have did all that first. It probably would have made sense to do that first, huh? Yeah, let's cast this thing then. Cycle this land. Soul Ring. We'll get the tap land in. As long as they don't have a counter, should be in decent shape. Yeah, 1 card in hand. Should be in decent shape. Oh, they crafted. What happens on the backside? Create 2/1/1 golems and an anthem. Okay. There are scarier things than that. It makes 2/2/2s. I guess, it's a reasonable amount of power. Now they're a little bigger than that. Okay. Okay. No attacks. That's spicy. Oh, yeah, we just got this thing. Okay, when deals combat damage to player, you may reveal. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library. Yeah, okay. We're trying this thing out. That's what we're doing. Next step is evoke this thing. Pop the big one. We get that ability. Pop this. Is this an artifact? Yeah, that one's getting kind of big also. Pop this one. Play the land. Choosing elemental. Send the team. See what this Descendants Fury is all about. Trying to get the Titan killed. Yeah, killing the Wanderer is a pretty good idea. Descendants Fury. Sacrifice one of our creatures. Sacrifice the Titan of Industry, I guess. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. We get Massive Mysteries. Garrick's Uprising. We can do more of this stuff. Make a 4/4. We'll pop. You know, actually, this thing's getting kind of doing a lot. Draw a card. Draw a card. Draw a card. God, Garrick's Uprising is disgusting. Opponent's down to 7. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Ingechuer we're going to let go. Titan of Industry we're going to keep around, though. Use the Lotus. Yep, I feel pretty good about that. Attack into Endurance with Living Death. This is where Claws of Gix would be good. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't block quite the way that I thought. I thought they would try to get the Wanderer and the big one killed. But maybe they sensed that we had a Living Death or something like that. Yeah, there's the scoop. That was a bracket 3 game. No game changers, as far as I'm aware. And didn't, like, it wasn't crazy, right? Like, our ramp spells were Smoke Braider and a Cultivate, and then I guess we had a second one, and this is Pilgrimage, so it's all right, but it's not like anything out of the ordinary. That was fun though. That was, we kind of steamrolled that game. I guess, to be fair, two opponents didn't do that much. The Urza opponent was very slow to get going, and the player that played Oko, I forget what commander they were on. They were on like 3 lands, so you know, we were able to kind of pick apart. And once Toxrill got elked, that really kind of pulled them apart. You know, kind of stopped their main game plan. So, yeah, I don't know. It looks like an old school commander deck with a mana curve like this, but so far it's working. This deck is exactly my speed. I love big, dumb, old elemental stuff like this. So, I don't know. I've enjoyed this. I'm probably going to pick this deck up. So, this is very much my cup of tea. But anyway, I'm going to wrap the stream up here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out the next live stream, and I'll talk to you guys again real soon.